Scott Morgan here, Michigan Sports Radio. Joining me is Coach Balcom. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Girls volleyball is on a very nice little run right now. You beat Catholic Central last night in a 3-game set, puts you atop of the OK Blue Conference. But let's kind of rewind and start from the beginning and get to there. Preseason, what do you work on with the girls to get them
Uh,
ready?
Most of it, they come in. A lot of them play club. Play club volleyball. So, and the ones that don't are just athletes, and they're active. So, as being in shape, they come in. They come in shape. But there's a such thing as volleyball shape. So we just go through and we kind of, work our way into it. Just start out with the basics, and because summer it can be long, and the volleyball season alone is long. So you just kind of work on things a little bit here and there, and we really don't have to get into detail right away because these girls understand. They've been playing, like I said, the majority of them have been playing for 6 months.
Okay.
So it's just getting them acclimated back with their teammates because maybe 6 of them, 7 of them play club, and all of a sudden they're joined by all these older girls, or some that didn't play. And so it's really fun to watch them though because all of a sudden, hey, I haven't seen you in months, and it's kind of cool. But they come into the gym and they work hard though. Usually summer or anything like that, they'll kind of goof off a little bit, but they come in with a chip. They come in with a chip this year because of what happened last year. So
Which was?
we lost for the first time in 5 years. We come in second, the blue.
Okay.
It didn't sit well with them. So,
Well, good.
yeah, so they come in determined. So, you know, talking outside of practice, all that stuff, they're goofy and it's fun to be around them and stuff. But once we stepped in the gym, they were determined and they worked hard. So we had a couple camps that we went to Michigan State. We go to Michigan State all the time, and some of the better teams on the east side of the state are there. You got like the top ranked teams, and so we get a chance to play them and engage where we're at. And we held our own and beat some of them. So, that helps going into the season, for the girls going, hey, we actually can hang with these teams and beat them. So
What is the toughest thing in coaching girls volleyball? What's the most thing that you put the most effort in?
well, my JV and freshman coach, they do a fabulous job. And you watch, even from coming down to eighth grade, seventh grade, we're working on it. But once ninth grade hits, these coaches do a great job. Marissa and Amber, they do a good job getting these girls ready. So working on things, a lot of that's done early on. So we don't have to hit the basic stuff. So what I'm having to coach is mentality. That's the hard part because, like I said, last year we're still young. Last couple of years we were really young.
Yeah.
And we physically and talent-wise could play with anybody. It was just beating people mentally wise. We would be ahead of teams and we'd blow it in the end. It was just they didn't believe they could do it. This year, they turned the corner. You can kind of see it where they believe it.
Yep.
And they don't take time off. They might take a few points here and there, but they know what their job is going in. And let's get it done and let's work hard. And they're not going to beat us. If they're going to beat us, they're going to physically beat us, because they are better than us.
Okay.
Not because they're mentally tougher than us. So,
what would you consider the strength of this team?
Camaraderie. I mean, they love being around each other. They love being in the gym. I've had teams like this before, but that and their talent. I mean, my assistant coach, Peyton Helson, she was part of the team in 2015 where we went all the way to the quarterfinals. And we talked the similarities between the two teams. Talent-wise, this team is probably more talented. Mentality-wise, beginning of the year, we're not.
Okay.
We had 7 seniors on that 2015 team. We have 3 this year. But, we have a lot of girls that have played 2 and 3 years. So once they learn that mentality part of it, and they have, they're a scary team. I mean, I just kind of watch it. But you know what? And every time you step on the court, you're going to get everybody's best.
Yep.
So you do what you can as a coach, and I coach, all this physical and all that stuff, but can't get in their heads all the time,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What are they thinking? And sometimes stop thinking so
Yes,
much and
exactly.
just use your athleticism to play.
Play and have fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you started now the second round then with Allendale coming up, or is Allendale is the last of the?
Yep. Allendale is the last of the first go round.
Okay, and then you'll start the next round robin and
Yep.
go back through and see if you can compete. Who's your biggest challenge that you had in the past? Who was the biggest one that you're looking at again?
Well, it's you got West and you have Spring Lake and Catholic Central, and that's no slight against the other teams because Sparta's a tough team. We haven't seen Allendale this year, so I don't know.
Yep.
Comstock Park is always. I mean, the conference alone. If they're not at the top, they're a scrappy bunch. For these other teams. You have Comstock Park, Sparta. They play well and they can go out and beat anybody. Sparta just went out and I believe they beat West Catholic.
Okay.
And then last night, Allendale, or Comstock Park, pardon me, took a set from Spring Lake. So, you really have to be ready for everybody. But, the top ones are West Catholic, Spring Lake, and Catholic Central. So
Now,
and we were able to take care of West Catholic and Spring Lake at their place.
oh,
So we get them at home.
get them at home. Okay, so you get a little bit of. Do you get film on other teams, as like in football and soccer and all them? Where they played and where you kind of can see who's does what, or is it just I walk in and you make adjustments from at that point on?
Majority of the coaches that are in our conference have been here, so I can go back and look at video from before. And you go to tournaments and you're at tournaments and there's 20 teams there, and everybody does it. Everybody goes and you'll watch and they'll spy on people. I want to call it spy. They go and they just kind of jot down things here and there what they see,
Yeah.
and it's part of the game. It's part of the coaching game, and I mean it's like that in volleyball. As long it's the same as it is in football and basketball. But I think when in the volleyball aspect of it, you just kind of see some tendencies here and there.
Okay.
There's not as much, offense, defense of football. It's a little bit different here. Just kind of see you try to exploit their weakness of what you think. And, I try not to change too many things because you start changing things and then the girls are playing, out of position or, all of a sudden their mind's kind of going here and there like, hey, we haven't done this before. No, this is what we're going to do. This is how we do it. Beat us. Basically what it is.
That's what you answer my next question was, or do you just kind of focus on this is what we do, bring your best, but we're going to bring our best and you try to beat our best.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we played Hudsonville. We had a tournament this weekend and we played Hudsonville in the finals. Hudsonville is one of the top 5 teams in the state, regardless of any class, and they're good. And our girls went in like, okay, let's see how we can play against them. And they pretty much punched us in the face right away. They were ahead of us, and we chipped away and caught them at around 2021. But catching up to them, we did a fantastic job. The girls calmed down. They started playing and believing it. But that was the thing. I'm not changing, what I'm going to do. And then the second set, they ended up pulling out the first set. The second set, they beat us pretty easily. We come back in the end to make the score a little bit better, but this is what we have. This is what you have. You beat us. Congrats. You beat us.
Yep.
And that's kind of what it is. When it comes to this. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you for taking the time out. Wish you the best of luck against Allendale next week and the second round. We'll talk later on as things continue to progress and hopefully get you closer to back on the track and start that streak again for the OK Blue Conference champions. But we'll worry about that way down the road.
Yes.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
All right.
And
thank
best
you
of
very
luck.
Much.